first key capability we need to think about is the ability for having strategic foresight. You need to create a dedicated task force that's looking at the different business strategies, competitive strategies needed if this and if this changed business scenario lasts for the next 3 months, 12 months, 24 months, and so on. So they need to look at different strategies, they need to look at the organizational structures that need to be changed, and then finally look at the systems that support this, right? And when we talk about systems, we're talking about individual standard operating procedures, KPIs and KRAs for the individuals and business units, but most importantly, what IT systems you need to support all of this. But the most critical aspect of this is that you need to have the ability to switch on and switch off most of these systems. When we're talking about maybe having a discontinuous business for the next 6 months where your demand is only 50%, or it's only located in specific parts of the country and where there's no lockdown and there's no demand in places where there is a lockdown, you need to have the ability to switch on certain parts of your systems and switch off other parts of your systems. And for this, really at the infrastructural level, what we're talking about is a strong cloud computing capability, right? So what you need to be able to develop is cloud computing based service models in a hierarchical fashion. Step is to have cloud-based service portfolios. So your service offerings as well, these could be service offerings that are layered onto your products that you're selling, or just basic things like, all right, I want to have the ability to sell a specific product or change the kind of product that I'm selling in a specific market for a short time being. So you need to have that kind of a cloud service portfolio implemented. Together, this is going to give you the requisite business flexibility. Second capability I'd like to stress upon is firms need to think about developing a cold start capability, right? The ability to start quickly. You need to be able to restart your business quickly. I know that in a lot of parts of the country, the lockdown's already lifting to some extent, and some firms have already started some operations. Of course, that draws up what percent that, you need to assign a task force that will sit and think through the process of what percentage of your firm's operations can and need to start within 24 hours of a lockdown being lifted, 3 days, 7 days, 15 days, 30 days, right? You need to think through what are the man, machine, cash, and capability requirements in each one of these scenarios. Now, if you're a distributed firm with operations spread across the country, you need to think about the effect of localized lockdowns. So this is not a one-off capability that you need to develop. I'm talking about this in terms of a capability because we don't know what the future is going to be like. We might be looking at localized lockdowns happening again and again. And to be able to withstand that kind of demands on your business, you need to develop this kind of capability. Now, to do this, it's critical to know where you stand, right? What resources do you currently have? What is the state of these resources? Where exactly are they? When things shut down, where were your trucks? Where were your people? Where was your inventory, etc.? Where was the product? And most importantly, what are your process dependencies? That's a very essential thing to note as of today, especially when you're talking about a cold start capability. Now, most of the times, firms have a process which they think that they're following, which is there in your process diagrams, and that's the way your enterprise systems have been implemented. But it's not necessarily that that's the way the processes are actually happening. So this is a good time to use what's known as a business process mining tool, right? So these business process mining tools are IT applications which go through the digital exhaust of your ERP applications, right? So they go through the logs, go through digital trace data and log data to actually map out the processes that your organization follows as is, right? as they currently follow. And the important thing about doing this process right now is that you're going to be able to map out where key dependencies lie. And therefore, when you want to do this cold start and you want to start up something after lockdown gets lifted within 24 hours, you're not met with any surprises. Third and most important capability you need is operational agility. CXOs need to think about putting together a task force that is dedicated to discovering opportunities in the current situation, right? Creating opportunities out of the challenges that you face today. These opportunities are opportunities that can be availed by simple process or product adaptations or innovations, right? So we're talking about things like if you're a company that manufactures denim, can you make small changes to your product and start making face masks? On the other hand, if you're a manufacturing firm, can you make small changes to your production process and instead of manufacturing automobile components, start manufacturing sanitizing equipment or some components for sanitizing equipment that will need to be installed across a variety of industrial and commercial establishments before we can get back to normal. So to be able to do this kind of stuff, there's some prerequisites that are required where technology will have to be leveraged. The first, which I talked about earlier, is this notion of business process mining. You obviously need to know your production processes and exactly how these go, how you're actually producing products right now. So process mining tools will help you do that. But more critical than that is that your firm must have a common language, resources and opportunities across the company. What does that mean? What that means is that everyone must have the same data standards and definitions across systems, be it a CRM system being used by marketing or be it an ERP system being used by someone else. Data standardization, data definitions must be standardized across your systems. And these systems must be able to speak to one another. Once you've done this, then you're going to be able to collect, collate, capture these opportunities, spread them through the organization using enterprise social networks and enterprise social media, and thereby figure out where these opportunities lie and also how to tap them.